Hello and welcome to this Dawn Busters Taste Challenge. We have two Canadian blend whiskeys with no age statement and both from Diageo because they're both part of the Crown Royal family. All right, now here is Crown Royal XO. I've heard some people say it was introduced in 2014, but I don't really know that. They don't say anything about it on the website. Okay, it's got this gray bag with the gold trim. XO is a designation in cognac or American brandy, which is the highest grade of brandy, aged 6 to 10 years. So that might be a clue that they're giving us that this is aged 6 to 10 years, but it's finished in cognac barrels. Don't know where the cognac comes from because I was looking at the Diageo website, and in their brand portfolio, they don't list any cognac. So it's a mystery to me. Okay. Could have just been barrels they bought from some other company, no big deal. Crown Royal XO, $35 at Walmart, $36 at Walmart, $35 at Total Wine. So depending where you are, you could save a little money. I wouldn't drive 25 miles to save $1 because it cost me $4 to save $1. All right, you know what I'm saying. Okay, it's got the crown embossed on the back. It's a fancy shaped bottle. Now here is the Blender's Mash, Crown Royal khaki bag with gold trim. Copper trim, actually, not gold. Okay. It's got the standard Crown Royal cap. This is part of their signature series. Bourbon Mash. Some stores will have the Blender's Mash. All it is a renaming of Bourbon Mash. Okay, it's the same product. It's a bourbon-style Canadian blended whiskey, introduced in 2018. I know that because that's when I saw some news releases about it. Anyway, it's got this paper rumpled finish on it, like leather. It's supposed to be like a leather finish, I guess. Crown Royal Bourbon Mash blended Canadian whiskey. Bourbon mash bill. See what I'm saying? It's a bourbon mash bill, but it can't be called bourbon. It says blender series. Well, I've never seen anything else in the blender series. They can't call it bourbon because it is not made in the USA. Showcases the warm vanilla and subtle oaky notes of our bourbon mash whiskeys. Among the most flavorful and complex of the 5 unique whiskeys that comprise this extraordinary Crown Royal signature blend. This special blend is a richly layered, perfectly balanced whiskey that has the complexity of a bourbon with the signature smoothness of Crown Royal. Okay, so it contains 5 different whiskeys, says on there. Oh, the price, it's running around $28. So it's about $8 cheaper, about 28 bucks if you can find it. Okay. There you go. You see it? Pretty bottle. Signature series. The signature series is Crown Royal Deluxe, Crown Royal Black, Crown Royal Northern Harvest Rye, and Crown Royal Bourbon Mash Blender's Mash. Okay. This is part of the Master Series, which is Crown Royal XO, Crown Royal Reserve, and some others. You can look at the website. I got the link below. But so far, not so good because the XO is the most expensive Crown Royal I purchased so far. Not really expensive, $35, $36. But on its own, when I did a solo review, I was like astounded. It was so good, I couldn't get over it. And then, see how pretty it is? Then when I did the started doing taste challenges, it was no better than Crown Royal Deluxe, depending on how you want to spell it. If you look at their website, they spell it two different ways. Crazy, right? Um, was no better than Crown Royal Black, and, and it, in fact, let me think for a minute. Crown Royal Black. Make sure I'm not missing something. Let's see, Signature Series 1, 2, 3. I wouldn't have gone against the rye because rye whiskey is a different category. I wouldn't have even competed against rye. Master Series, 29-year age. That's not $36. 18-year age. That's not $36. XO Reserve. That's about $45. Winter Wheat, that's running about $60. Cornerstone is like around $80. So yeah, okay, that's all I've done so far. I got you. Retired whiskeys. XR, the red. Will it ever come back? Maybe. I'd like to find it. Honey, the maple, the wine barrel finish, the XR. I thought they still made that one. Extra rare. And Texas Mesquite. I heard some kind of negative things about that one. Okay. Okay. Let's take a look. Appearance-wise, they're both coppers, so that's not going to be an issue. But the issue here is I don't have enough of this one. Just put a little bit more, just a dab. Okay, good. That's it. That's it. Okay. Nice alcohol legs, copper, clear. All right, so XO in the first three taste challenges, I couldn't even get the last one right. The first two taste challenges, sorry, I got it confused with black. I got the black and the XO mixed up. Crazy, right? 90 proof versus 80 proof. The regular Crown Royal Deluxe, it was no better. I could tell it apart though. So it hasn't really justified its price so far. Not compared to other Crown Royals. So as it stands now, you may as well just buy Crown Royal, the standard $24. Why pay an extra $12? In a comparative sense, it's no better from what I've been able to determine. Now, how's it going to do against other non-Crown Royal Canadian whiskeys like Royal Canadian or Barrister's Canadian Gold or McAfee's? I don't know, but I think it's going to whip them, but I don't know that. Canadian Hunter, got some of that left. Caliber Canadian, I have a lot of that left. Gibson's Finest Rare, 12-year age. I got a lot of that left. A lot of them I've gotten through. I've, drunk them down, dissipated them. Well, this smells like corn and oak. You say, wow, what a shock. I know, right? North American whiskey smell like corn and oak. Can't believe it. Well, you better believe it. Okay. Okay, corn and oak and something richer. More oak barrel, more fancy barrel, more cognac barrel. Yeah. I hope. Yeah, it just seemed like it had a little bit more richness to it. Let's go with the taste. Here we go right now. Sugar water. Whiskey to me always tastes like sugar water. At least North American whiskey now. Irish whiskey and Scotch whiskey, not so much. Sugar water. All right. Sugar water, oak. Now they use charred oak, I think, for this bourbon mash, which makes sense. A little honey. To me, they never taste like the fancy descriptions on the website. The website will list all these attributes, you know, cardamom, nutmeg, dried orange peel, and I'm like, I don't taste any of that. Rose petals. That this means that their master tasters probably know a lot more about it than me, or they're just exaggerating. I don't know the answer. Okay, yeah, this tastes like whiskey soaked, whiskey saturated wood that's been saturated with whiskey. Could that be the cognac cask carrying over to this? Oh, I guess it could be. Now, question: $6, $8 difference. Is it really an $8 difference in quality? I'm not seeing it. You could pay the $8 and you'd be happy, I guess. I did pay the extra money because I wanted to try the Crown Royal XL. I kept hearing about it. Talking about it is not going to satisfy trying it. So I paid the $34.95 and now plus tax, and now I'm trying it. Um, on its own, I was delighted. It was a solid A all the way. I loved it. In competition here, it's not performing very well against its brethren, its brothers in the Crown Royal family. Okay. Um, I think this is the blender's mash. It tastes like bourbon. If you gave this to somebody and said, "What kind of drink is this?" I think they would say, "Oh, was it Maker's Mark or is it Buffalo Trace?" You know what I mean? Like they might think it's bourbon, considering it tastes like bourbon, and considering it is bourbon, but not in a legal sense. They cannot call it bourbon. You could take the recipe for every major American bourbon. All right. Ancient Age, Buffalo Trace, Eagle Rare, George T. Stagg, Pappy Van Winkle, Benchmark, you know, Evan Williams, Elijah Craig, and Four Roses, whatever. Take those exact recipes, produce them exactly the same in Windsor, Canada, less than a mile from the United States, not even a mile away, and it could not be called bourbon. You say, but that's what it is. I know. They would just have to call it Canadian whiskey. Sorry, but that's the law. That's the law. I don't make the law. Just like cognac. If you're inside the cognac region, it's cognac. If you're 1 foot outside the region, it's just French brandy. You say, but it might taste exactly the same. Yes, that's right. You say, well, that's just marketing. In a large, in a to a great extent, that's true. Tennessee whiskey, it's got to be made in Tennessee. Is it really that different than others? No, I'm not seeing that. BC's okay. DJ Beacon says morning dawn busters. Some Canadian to wake up to. Yes, you're right. BC's beer reviews. Oh, BC's beer reviews. I just watched his video for Breckenbach. I watched it yesterday evening. B says, "Good morning, Ron. Good morning to you." Um, as far as promos, y'all, tomorrow, Friday, at 6:30 Eastern Time, 3:30 in the afternoon Pacific Time, we've got Fandango Friday, examining any liquor or liqueur. So it's like a wild card. You can bring anything you want, but it's got to be a liquor. You say, what if it's Tanqueray tonic? That's a liquor. Or a liqueur. You say, what if it's Bailey's Irish cream? That's a liqueur. So that would work, okay? Fine. You say, well, I'm drinking natural light. Could I bring that? No. Somebody tried to do that before. They wanted to join. It would be like if we were having a discussion about boxing and you said, well, I'd like to discuss baseball. Well, the topic is boxing, okay? It's prize fighting. It's not about baseball. Nothing against you. You know, you get that kind of thing. Thank you for watching my videos, says BC. You're welcome. And thank you for letting me watch it. You know, I'm just kidding. All right. You like my new computer? It's a lot faster, isn't it? That other thing was dying a slow, miserable death. I think it was being done by Microsoft. It used to work all right. Then when they switched to Windows 11, I noticed that my system continued to slow down. I think they were sending updates that was making it slow, because they would send me these messages all the time. If you need any help buying a new computer, let us know. We got all the good links to good equipment. I'm like, uh-huh. So just going to make it to where I wouldn't operate at all. And then you'd say, oh, well, let me go buy another PC. Oh, well, how you like that? I heard about that. You look good. Oh, thank you. Oh, which one is which? I think this is the Blender's Mash / Bourbon Mash. My bottle says Bourbon Mash. I'm glad I got the original bottle, the Bourbon Mash. Got some bad news, folks. That's the cognac barrel, the XO. So I've done 3 taste challenges. I've gotten 2 wrong where I couldn't even tell it apart from the other Crown Royals. And it's not won any challenge. So I think we've learned a lesson. Don't pay extra for it. You ain't getting nothing extra. You think you are, but you're not. The blind taste test has proved that. You say, no, it just proves you don't know how to taste stuff. Maybe. That could be true. But I can only taste for myself. I cannot taste for you. You can watch me taste something, but you have to taste it for yourself, okay? You can say, well, I made a metaphysical connection with you. Well, that's good. You taste it in the spirit world. But in the real world, you need to go buy it and taste it yourself. No, I mean, all right. So, well, I guess there's a little fruity cognac in the finish, but you say, oh, it's all gimmicks. It's all gimmicks. I'm not going to believe that it's all gimmicks, but maybe you're starting to convince me that it is. Okay. Do I feel played? I feel played a little bit. Boy, now if that Crown Royal Reserve gives me the same results, I'm going to really feel bad because I paid $44 for that one. Or 45. Can't remember. It wasn't cheap. I couldn't find out. I'm not that concerned about it. So, well, what do you know? Well, can't do much about it. It is, like they say, it is what it is. That's what the Oklahoma football fans were saying this year for the University of Oklahoma Sooners. It is what it is. Okay. That's that. So now here's a prediction. I was wrong on my first prediction, so don't put much stock in it, if any. But my prediction is that when I put this XO up against all the other Canadian whiskeys I have, it's going to win. It's going to kill them. But that makes sense because all the other Canadian whiskeys I have are inexpensive, $8 to $10. True story. Canadian whiskey is really inexpensive. I don't know how, because you got to ship it from Canada. It seemed like it would be more expensive, right? Why would it be cheaper than American whiskey? Doesn't make sense. Than the United States versions. But anyhow, the only one I have that's comparable in price is the Gibson's Finest Select. Runs around $35 in Canada, so, or here in the United States. But I got the greatest deal in the world for it. I mean, literally the greatest deal in the world ever. We'll talk about that when I get to it. You won't believe it. Unless you already seen other videos with it, then you know about the story already. Max Walt in the Russian Federation says, hello, Ron. Hello to you, Max Walt. Smiley face. Back to you. DJ Beacon says, okay, put a slug of bourbon in my coffee to join this morning. Cheers. Oh, well, gotta watch it. All right. So that's it. Another epic fail for me. But you know what? I'm not going to take the credit for failing. I only take the credit when I win. Self-serving. No, really, I'm blaming the XO because it's just not standing out. It's not performing like I thought. So that's bad. That's bad. You're bad. Stop it, y'all. No, anyway, so that's it. And now I'll be back Friday with another taste challenge, and it's going to be Crown Royal XO versus the widely unavailable and widely never heard of Canadian Gold. For every one person you know that has tasted Canadian Gold, there's another 99 people who never heard of it. Oh my goodness. All right, thank you.